Good afternoon, everyone. Harlequin here once again with another Lancer prediction. Unlike the last one, we're gonna try a new format, new style this time. So mash that like button if you like this style. I want to keep it clean, no gameplay footage in the background, just straight to the facts, super short, super clean. And with that said, 20 seconds in, let's go. So as you can see from this tweet, this is basically where it all started. This was actually not the original tweet. I didn't put it up, but the original tweet was just the bow with the medical symbol, which is a snake wrapped around a pole, basically saying, hey, she's going to be a bow and arrow type medical support freelancer. So it's really interesting with that kit. Speaking of kit, these were the symbols we got as a teaser. We got an up arrow, a turtle emoji, a little heart dot emoji, a star circle, I think that's a shooting star emoji, and a rain cloud. So this is interesting. This was interesting. As soon as I saw this, I was like, okay, well, here are my initial predictions. When I first saw this, I'm not putting this down, okay? Wait till towards the end. But when I first saw this, I was like, all right, she's gonna shoot her arrows up, or if it's gonna be overpowered as crap, she's gonna knock someone up. I don't think that's a thing though. There's no way I would lose my mind if that was an actual thing. But no, she probably shoots her arrows up and then they come crashing down. That's what I assume. The turtle ability, I assumed she was just gonna, you know, put like a shield, put on a shell, go inside her shell. For the heart, I assumed it was some kind of healing. That was kind of obvious, some kind of something like that. The shooting star, I assumed, I was like, oh, she's gonna shoot towards them and then like wrap herself around them, because I was so fixated on the snake wrapped around the pole logo. Now that is a medical logo, just so you guys know. If anyone doesn't know what the medical logo looks like, that is a symbol for a medical logo. The thing is, I was so fixated that I wanted this to be a snake lady, because in my mind when I saw this, I was immediately thinking Medusa, you know, snake woman, bow and arrow. That's in lore, you know. And I was like, oh wow, that's cool. But she's a support, like in lore, she's not a support. There's nothing on here that represents that she would stone someone. So, you know, gaze, all that. Because if they were to make a Medusa character, she would need the gaze. I will spoil it right now and say she's not a Medusa character. But anyways, those were my initial thoughts. And then we got this. People have asked about the phases of the new Lancer's kit. So, of course, her first ability is the blast phase. Her turtle and healing ability are both prep phase. The shooting star is dash phase. And the ultimate rain cloud is also burst phase. So those are the phases of the new Lancer. My idea is still stuck. Now, when did our first big news come in? Well, it was actually kind of sneaky, and a lot of people seem to miss it. It was during this. This was a tweet sent out, and this is Jeff, I believe. I'm assuming so. That's why he's here. Anyways, this is Jeff. However, if you zoom in right here, who is that? Who is that right there? Who is this person? I've never seen this person. Have you seen this person? I've never seen this person. I do believe that is our new Lancer right there, lurking in the back. Not any of the employees back there, but that's our new Lancer. And it looks like she has brown, auburn hair. It looks like kind of auburn hair, not completely brown, not completely red. And it's even more prominent by the fact that that's her banner. That is 100% her banner right there. The bow and arrows, and again, it looks like scales. I was so over the snake thing. And I want her just to pull a snake out of her bag for no reason, just to pull it out as a taunt and then throw it on the ground or something. I don't care. Anyway, so that's her in her logo, it looks like. So we got kind of an early preview of that, and a lot of people seem to miss it. This was just a normal tweet that was sent out. It was really interesting if you weren't paying attention to the background. Now, let's get on to the reveal of her support ability, the second ability, number 2. This is the turtle one. So this is create an energy fluctuation that grants shields to allies and weakens enemies until end of turn. So this was, I was sort of right in my initial prediction. It is a shield, however, I thought it was a shield for herself. Nope, it's a shield. It looks like if it's gonna grant shields to allies and weakens enemies, I'm assuming this is an AoE ability. You know, it could still be something like Surin's, you know, you have to pick one or the other. Cork has the same thing. So, but I really think this is likely an AoE ability. if I'm gonna make a guess, I'm gonna guess it's a 2x2 square. If it's anything bigger than that, that's probably gonna be a mod. And any possible mods, probably like if allies are under a certain amount of health, they gain +5, +10 shields or whatever. Usually it's under 50%. But I don't have to guess too much on the mods either, because there was one mod revealed as voted, and it's this. Focused Burst. Shield is strengthened by 10 if only a single ally is hit. That's what makes me think, like, if there is a mod for everyone gains X amount of shields per if they are under a certain amount of health, then it's probably going to be like 5 or something, or 5 per ally under 50% health or something. So if you have all 3 of your allies in there, then it's 15. If you only have 2, then it's 10, which is like Focus Burst. And if it's 1, it's only 5. So that would create a different type of gameplay from Focus Burst. So that would be pretty interesting as a mod, I believe. But anyways, that's Focus Burst. So that's our first mod. I'm only going to guess 2 per ability, guys, just to keep it super short. Speaking of short, let's move on to the next one. Dash, her dash ability. So this is her number 4 ability, her 4th ability. So we're skipping over the 1st and 3rd ability. Those we'll make complete guesses on. So this is her 4th ability. Dash to a location and then fire an arrow in the opposite direction, which deals direct damage and slows until the end of the turn. So this was completely different from what I was thinking. Now, when I first guessed, I was like, oh yeah, she's gonna wrap around them. I was so fixated on the snake thing. But no, it was actually represent that she's going one way but shooting the other way. So it's a shooting star. She shoots as she's moving, which is really cool. I think that's an awesome ability. Now, obviously, I'm going to make mod predictions. I'm going to make 2 mod predictions. The first mod prediction I'm going to make is do more damage for the first, do bonus damage for first enemy hit. That's a really popular mod for a lot of range abilities, and I'm almost positive that's going to be in here. I'm going to go a little bit egregious with the second guess, and I'm going to say that the second mod for this, or a second possible mod, would be to dash further and shoot further. So dash, shoot farther. So if it's a 3 square dash and shoot backwards, then it will be a 4 or a 5 square, which will be kind of ridiculous. But I mean, hey, we live in also a world where Titus can dash across the entire map, so it's not entirely out there. But those are my 2 mod predictions. Let me know what you think. I think the dash looks really cool. I really can't wait to see something like this. It's it really speaks to an archer who's trying to get away from a frontliner, and I really think that's cool. But let's move on to her ultimate ability, which was requested so much by the fans. And as Jeff would say, don't hold your ult, show it off for everyone. Here is our ultimate. We have no idea what it's called, but this is going to be done on the blast phase. Rain arrows down in a line, dealing direct damage to enemies and rooting them. Choose 2 points within range to create the line of effect. Does not require line of sight and ignores cover. So this is super interesting. So I already have an image of my mind about, think about the old, you've probably seen the movies, history books, school, hopefully maybe on the phone where you're in the toilet. I don't know what you're doing there. People do weird things. I play games. Anyways, where the archers are shooting, 2 armies are clashing, and then they're like, release the arrows, and then the archers shoot across and rains down the line. I think that's what we're gonna get. I'm pretty sure she's just gonna shoot across and it's gonna rain down. Mods, the easiest mod. I'm gonna go with an easy mod first. Bigger line, bigger area. So let me explain that. I don't mean just a longer line. Like if it says rain arrows down a line, let's make a guess and say the line is 4 squares long, right? So my guess wouldn't be that it would be longer, like 6 squares. My guess would be that it would be thicker. So instead of 4, it's 8. So it's 4 and then the 4 behind that. So that would be a guess for a first mod. Second mod, I'm gonna say something a little bit better. For each enemy hit, she gains a certain amount of health. I'm not gonna give a number because that's just insane, but I'll make that guess and we'll see if I'm right on those mods. But before we go to the next part, we have we have some fun to kind of play here. Now we have to guess the first ability and the third ability, right? So the first ability, I'm gonna stick to my guns here. I still think it's a fire the arrow up in a direction thing, and then throw it, and then it like slams down in, I don't know, a 4 a 4 square area, you know, where I think I really think the mods for that one would be easy. I'm pretty sure it would be something like a slow. I don't want to go with the gain health mod because I feel like that's almost a given. Though I kind of already said it, so whatever, we'll do 3. So slow, gain health per X enemies hit. The other one I'm gonna say it's probably also easy but weakened. So slow would be one of our mods, and then the other mods would be to weaken them, you know. And yeah, I think that's what we're going for. I could be wrong. And my other guess, if I'm allowed to make 2, since I have no idea what these are, and I'm gonna make 2 anyways. My other guess would be that because it's pointing up, she ignores cover and walls, similar to Grimo and well, actually very similar to the Grimolition or Rio when it comes to Gray. So those are the 2 guesses I have for first ability. I'm leaning more on the side of the arrows shooting up, going down, though they kind of both are the same thing if you think about it. Like if they do shoot up and go down in an AoE, I still think it'll ignore walls and cover. So I'll combine them both. I'll combine them for the sake of it, for sake of argument, I will combine both of those. And that's my guess for the first ability. Now, third ability, final ability that we have to guess here. It's going to be a heal of some sort. So if we're playing off this theme of she's an archer or something, I'm going to assume she's going to shoot her allies with like a vial of health. That's what I think. But because if it's a vial of health, then I feel like it'll heal over time. And I'll get more into that in the next bit. We have one final part to show, but I think it'll be a vial of health, and I'm gonna go with easy predictions on this one. Heal your ally more for when they are under a certain amount of health, and for the second mod, it would be let's see, ally gains shields. No, I don't want to go shields. Ally is mighted. Yeah, there we go. We'll go with the might mod. I'm pretty sure there'll be a might mod on that one. And so that's it, guys. That's it for the ability preview. This video is running a little bit longer than I intended, but we are almost done here. We got a little bit more. Now the last bit are sounds. Ooh, sounds. Harlequin. Yes, we get to hear her voice. So the first was this anonymous tweet here or not anonymous tweet, excuse me. Was this tweet by anonymous, some Twitter account named Atlas Reactor, similar to the game name. I don't know who they are. Anyways, and it is this.
I hope you like butt splinters.
I can't help giggling and listening to that a lot. I literally clicked play like 3 times when I was going to record this. That was great. We have one more voice mod, and announcing again, Twitch tomorrow. Go watch for the reveal, and it is this voice.
I aim to please.
Oh, that's great. That's gotta be one of my new favorite taunts right there. I hope you like butt splinters. That's hilarious. But as you saw in that tweet, and we'll go ahead and zoom in now. Here she is in all her glory without color. But this is her. This is what we have to look forward to. Now we're gonna analyze this just a little bit. So I'm looking at it, and the first thing I notice obviously is the vials on the bottom right corner. The bottom, look at her hip, her bottom left hip. Looks like there's some vials there, and I'm almost positive she's gonna shoot her allies with those. Those are healing vials. That's what I'm gonna take a guess at. Unfortunately, I didn't get my Twitter wish, and her fingers are not elongated. That is a bow and arrow. We can confirm that. And I think the bow and arrow looks pretty cool. It looks like a simple design, standard bow and arrow types out there for, like, you know, modernized archers, so to speak. And what really draws me to her is she's got the whole cape thing going on. Like, is this our Robin Hood? Is that what's going on here? Like, I can't wait to hear her lore and her story. A few more things to point out here, of course, is it's hard to zoom in on it, guys. But if you look right on her chest area, the cape only comes up to her neck. So I can't see a hood, right? So I'm not sure. That looks like plate armor on her chest. And if I'm not mistaken, that might be plate armor on her arms, on her right arm, but also on her left arm and forearm, along with a shoulder pad, it looks like, on her left forearm, or if it's just part of the cape that just happens to be leaning that way and not on the right side. Her legs are the same thing, though. Her thighs look like they might have some kind of plate armor I'm not entirely sure though, because when you zoom in on the picture, it kind of fades into, it looks like skin, and I hope she's not nude in this. Atlas, you're gonna get me booted from Twitch. I mean, YouTube. Both. Oh my God, they're both gonna come after me. But anyways, so she's wearing some kind of silver armor, which is weird for an archer. Like, you would not expect an archer to wear any kind of metal armor. You'd mostly expect leather, cape, completely cloth driven, you know, accuracy, movement, stuff like that. So this is kind of interesting, and I wonder if it has to play up on her lore, or how her abilities work, or if it's just there for aesthetic purposes. I can't wait. That was my prediction, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try to bring out more like this once the new Lancers are out. I believe the next one is a frontliner. No, I think the next one's support. We have double support, right? I'm not sure. I'll have to go ask Jeff again. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. And once again, for the billionth time, tune in tomorrow to see the release of the Lancer. And we'll get to watch it live together. I will be in the Twitch chat, and I can't wait to chat with you guys and freak out. Oh my God, she's awesome. And I'll be so happy. That's it for me, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.